Hi everyone! Today we're going to be doing another one of my favorites, Fire Agate. If you've missed my previous videos, the last one I did was about ammonites and amylite, and the one previous to that was about opals. So if you missed those, definitely check out my page or my tour group and give them a little browse. So, again, today we're doing Fire Agate. It's definitely one of my favorites. I happen to have a soft spot for anything that has a flash in it. However, not all of these specimens have flash, and that's kind of the gamble with Fire Agate. So first I'm going to start off by showing you just these lovely bubbly ones. They're quite simple, very raw. I just absolutely love the texture, the structure of it. I don't believe there's really any fire in it, but that doesn't bother me at all. I just love the structure. So Fire Agate is a variety of chalcedony, or like I usually say chalcedony, which is incorrect. But if you hear me say that, just ignore me. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to pronounce it chalcedony. Something along those lines. Generally, it's found in Mexico, but there are also some locations in the United States, in Arizona and California. I just love this one. It's like a beautiful agate flower on top of a matrix. That's what it looks like to me anyways. It's not a technical term or anything like that, but look at that. Just look at how the bubbles fold in, just like a flower. I absolutely love it. Before I jump into my spiel, I'll just show you this last one that's not really, doesn't have anything overly interesting other than its beautiful translucency and structure. There we go, that's better. Yeah, and you can see there's some little ones. Oh, I just love these bubbles. Gorgeous. So how are these formed? I'll start showing you the ones that have just a tiny bit of color in them while I do my little spiel about how these are formed. So approximately 24 to 36 million years ago, super long time ago, we had a massive volcano kind of activity that was during the Tertiary period. So they were formed during this period of volcanism when hot water that was kind of saturated with silica and iron oxide repeatedly filled in cracks and bubbles in the surrounding rock, so over and over and over again, which kind of gives it those beautiful layers while they're bubbling. Go for another one. So people often argue, like, okay, silica and iron oxide, that makes sense. What type of iron oxide specifically? So I think the two commonly accepted ones are goethite and limonite. And both of them are kind of related to pyrite in a way too, to give you a little bit more of an understanding if you don't have a lot of experience with goethite and limonite. So those ones that I just showed you kind of had a little bit of metallic coloring on them, but not so much that translucency with the flash. This one has some bubbles inside, although I'll admit this video isn't capturing it quite as well as the eye can. You can sort of see a bit of structure on the inside of the crystal. See a little bit of layering there. This one has a little bit of tiny bits of flash in the bubbles. But otherwise, just super cool structure. Like, I just love it. Beautiful. This one's really difficult to see in video too, but you can see, oh here, this shows off a little bit better. You can see there's a little bit of metallic coloring bubbled inside there. And these are raw and obviously windowed. Some of them have been sliced a little bit to kind of see what's inside. But you would need a really good faceter to bring out the true beauty of these. I just like to have a few that are raw. There we go. absolutely gorgeous, even in their raw state. So this one looks similar to the others until you see where it's been windowed. Right in here where my thumbnail is, you'll see this really vibrant bright green flash. It's just tiny, it's not been polished to look as good as it possibly could, but it still brings me pleasure. I love that little flash. Let's see if I can get closer. Nice. So here's my first polished specimen that I bought, and I bought it rather quickly when I first started collecting minerals because it just was instantly one of my favorites. So you can see, and this one is kind of similar to what we've seen in raw, just like, you know, clear, white, brown, yellow agate, but in here we can see the different rainbow bubbly layers. So what gives it that like iridescent rainbow color? Well, again, it's actually from those layers that were formed during that volcanic period. So similar to like moonstone and labradorite, it's created by the Schiller effect. So it's caused by alternating silica and iron oxide layers, and they diffract or allow light to pass through them, and that interference causes these different colors of fire, which is what gives it its name and what makes it so very popular and desirable. So you can imagine, because these are not found, you know, in abundance in our earth, and because it takes a skilled person to kind of bring out the true shocking beauty of them, they do get really pricey. But since it's one of my favorites, I did dish out a bit of money to my favorite place called Sonatona. There we go. Okay. See those beautiful colorful bubbles? And these ones even have little tinges of purple, which is not very common. It's usually more of the yellow, red, orange kind of colors. So those little bits of purple are just lovely. Isn't that absolutely fascinating? This one's not necessarily bubbly, but I just loved the little pinpricks of extremely bright fire. Isn't that just beautiful? The earth makes this, guys. Oh my goodness. Mind-boggling. There you have it. All right. So there are all my fire agates from my personal collection. Hope you guys enjoyed having a little peek at them. Thanks for watching. See you next time.